Roran glared at Horst. Book 2, Eldest, Chapter 29, Conviction, Chapter 30, Repercussions, and Chapter 31, Exodus. Welcome to Eragon and Back Again, a podcast where we explore Christopher Paolini's inheritance cycle chapter by chapter. I'm Lucy Hart.
And I'm Darien Smartt.
And these chapters could have been just one chapter.
Yes. One admittedly long chapter, for sure.
Oh, for sure.
But yes. It's so weird because sometimes we're like, yes, this is when you should break up a chapter and this should be shorter. And sometimes like, this chapter is too long, it should have been broken up. And sometimes we're like, I think this chapter's were one idea.
Yeah.
And so much one idea that I was like, oh, we'll combine like 2 chapters together and 3 seems a little long, but I was like, no, I feel like we don't have the full conversation without all 3. They're so intertwined.
Yes, they very much are.
Like, I'm a little bit like, Paolini, did you just want to use the names?
Yeah.
Did you just want all the
that's
chapter
fair.
names? They're great chapter titles.
Oh, for sure.
Don't get me wrong. But before we get into that,
yes,
Lucy,
yes,
do you have a spark of inspiration?
I do have a spark of inspiration.
Please share.
So recently I just finished a book novel, Hart, by Emma Hamm. Mm-hmm. It's a half elf involved in. It's like a world where it's kind of like very. I feel like it's very cliche. Magical creatures are getting torn down because humans are scared of what fairy creatures can do.
Yep.
Fairy creatures get together to rebel, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. And one of the last, elves are one of the few races that are basically almost extinct at this point. Mm-hmm. Main character is a half elf, and she teams up with one of the last dragons ever in existence to fight back, blah, blah, blah. One of the interesting things in this book that I kind of was like, that's really cool, and I never really thought about it that way, is that the dragon has a hoard of gold, which I'm like, very typical. Mm-hmm. But the gold is important because it heals him.
Oh, you were talking about this.
Yeah.
Yes.
So there's a moment where the castle is attacked because they're she's trying to kill the king. So she's in the castle and the dragon is a slave to the king. It's a long story. But the dragon, there's all these arrows that come in when they're eating dinner or something. And so dragon transforms into dragon form, can transform into human, of course, and is protecting all of the brides to be. So I'm sorry, I'm going way off the things here, but go with me here on this.
Yep. Fill in the blanks.
Fill in the blanks. And there is a magical something that comes in the window and lands directly on top of him.
Ooh.
It's like a poison. And so it hurts him really, really badly. So he has to go into his cave where all of his gold is and melts it down, liquefies a big chunk of his gold and then sinks into the molten gold for it to go into his wounds to heal him. That's how his wounds are healed.
Nice.
Because it I think it talks about how it helps his scales become impenetrable and this, that, and the other thing. And I was like, that is such a cool way to be that's why dragons hoard gold. Not because they're ooh, something shiny, but it's literally because it is a source, one of their sources of their power. Literally, it helps them. So I just thought that was really cool.
Yeah, I love finding a fun original twist or explanation on a established genre trope. Mm-hmm. I think it's very interesting.
Yeah, it was really cool.
So why they do this? Everyone knows, but why would they? And what's a interesting reason for that? What's a magical reason for that? And that's you said it was, what was Firestar?
Yeah, Fireheart.
Sorry.
Fireheart. It's a book 1. I think it's a couple of books in the series. Let me see. Book 1 of 5 in the series.
Nice.
So, yes. And they're all heart related. Fireheart, Brightheart, Braveheart, Tornheart, Taloned Heart.
Good for them.
Good for them. But yeah, thought it was really interesting. So
nice.
Yeah. How about you? Do you have a spark?
Yes. I've had this one for a while, and I've been saving it in my back pocket. Every Tool's a Hammer, Life is What You Make It by Adam Savage. Ooh. Lucy, do you know who Adam Savage is off the top of your head?
That sounds really familiar, but I can't think of the face.
He was one of the co-hosts of Mythbusters.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. This is essentially, it's part memoir, autobiography, part like creativity handbook.
Okay.
Kind of like with Savage discussing like his experience as a creator and a creative and like the different things and obstacles and successes and failures he's had over the course of his life that have taught him or that have led him to developing the strategies he has to be a maker is the term he uses. Like a maker, someone who makes things, right?
Yeah.
And that could be anything, like a practical, like the special effects, the practical, like the science stuff, all those things, and like musicians and artists, like people who make things.
Absolutely.
And that like the approaches he has that are most successful for his creativity. And I found it, one, super fascinating because here's a cool guy who really spearheads creativity and making accessible and showing off and being like not making it feel like something you can only do if you have a high skill level to do it or talk about it. Like everyone can make a thing and everyone starts somewhere. And the act of talks a lot about he loves recreating movie props and things from cinema and like getting to see those original props and see like how they were made and what they look like and like figuring out how to recreate it at home. It's very cool. Yeah, just having like how he has his studio, like his like workshop structured, but it's very different than how like other makers would have their work. 'Cause it's what I really liked about it is that it wasn't like this is what you have to do to be successful. Every like some writer tips would be like, you got to wake up at 6 a.m. every morning and write 1,000 words before you do anything else, and that's the only way you're going to be successful. His book isn't like that. It's not this is the only way, or even like he's trying to sell you like this is the true way to be successful. He's just like sharing the way he thinks about making and the structures and systems that allow him to be successful in that, in a way that encourages, I think, the reader to think the same way about what their creative processes and what would work or wouldn't work for them. And I really enjoyed it. Also, like I listened to an audiobook and Savage reads the book himself.
Oh, cool.
Which
I love
is
that.
always really fun. Yeah. Every Tool's a Hammer by Adam Savage. Excellent, fun book for your fans of Mythbusters, but also makers and creators in general. It's just a good experience.
Yeah.
Relatable.
Awesome.
Okay. Shall we get into it?
Yes, let's get into it.
Conviction. Despair looms, but Roran clings to a desperate hope. Refusing to give up Katrina or Carvajal, Roran rallies the village with an incredible vision of a better future. Repercussions. There's a high cost to Roran's wild plan, and the villagers must weigh the risks versus the rewards. Not everyone comes to the same conclusion. Exodus. No more deliberations or discussions. It is time for the villagers to say goodbye to Carvajal.
Yep.
Yeah, I was like, shorter. Usually I try to make my chapter summaries like at least 2 sentences.
Yeah.
But this felt fine.
Yeah.
This feels like we're going to talk about it. And like I said in the intro, these are all connected.
Yeah, because it's like, for one, it's like, I'm like, these could have been these could have been just one chapter, but it's like, I'm like, I also understand, like, because there are beats that happen in these 3 chapters that I'm like, you could argue that, yes, they had to be their own, because the first one, Conviction, is Roran being like, we need to do this, and convincing the villagers to follow him, and then the second one is his conversation with Horse, and also being like, this is what's happening. There's a lot of people who look up to you at this point. There's also a lot of people who hate you because of this. Yeah. And then the third one is them leaving. Yeah. So it's kind of like, the titles are very on point.
Yes, strong.
But it's like, yes, I can see it. Also, maybe a title to put all 3 of them would have been together. It would have been like Carvajal's Dilemma or Carvajal's Choice.
Ooh,
the leader of Carvajal. Conviction of Carvajal, or I don't know, something.
I also think Exodus of Carvajal.
Exodus of Carvajal would have been really good, because I think like Conviction or Exodus would have been in the title, in if we're gonna combine all 3 for sure, and then like Carvajal, or like maybe like Roran's what's a word to be like inspiration, or like Roran's truth, or I don't know.
Yeah, no, I know. I know. Remember, I can't think of it. Yeah. It's so because we, again, different days.
Yes.
Because meanwhile, Eragon and Saphira have just found out they are not the only
Yes.
dragon and rider outside of Galbatorix.
Yep.
And, oh my gosh. And they just got to go to the Elven Kingdom and greeted by the Queen of the Fae and all this stuff. Anyway, so Roran's fiance has been kidnapped.
Yep. And I
by
think
monsters.
Yeah, I honestly think this was one of the moments in this book that I felt almost wanted to skip Roran's to get back to reading the dragon. I think this because like all this time I'm so like Eragon's just traveling and it's fine, but it's boring and wow, there's so much going on with Roran and I want to, oh my gosh. And then this is like, no, Roran, go away, get out of here. But we just got introduced to another dragon. Let's go.
But like right before that, Katrina got kidnapped.
Yeah,
and then
Katrina
we pivoted back to Eragon traveling. You're like, what the fuck?
So they're both at this point. I feel like they're both at a pretty high. Like, ooh, they gotcha. Paulini gotcha.
We gotcha. Different days. We catch up with Roran in the immediate aftermath of him passing out before they could attack the soldiers.
Yep.
Horse is like, dude, we had to bring it back to the house.
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
They were all too terrified to fight after seeing the steeds.
Yep.
Essentially.
Super shaken.
Mounts.
Yeah.
And Roran's having a bad time.
He's having a really bad time.
Listen, he have been having a bad time.
Yeah, he has.
This whole book. Roran has not had a good time.
No, like the only like bright spot in it was Katrina, and now she's gone.
Yeah, now Katrina was gone. He thinks about like so far in his life, he'd only truly cared about three things: his family, his home in Palancar Valley, and Katrina. His family had been annihilated last year. His farm had been smashed and burned, though the land remained, which was all that really mattered. But now Katrina was gone.
Yep.
A choked sob escaped the iron lump in his throat, and our boy just has a breakdown.
Yeah,
which,
he does.
Yeah, man.
You deserve it, dude.
You
Like,
deserve
let it out, my guy.
The description of the crying, the fact that his lungs hurt. He's just desperate. A river of streams as followed as he doubled over, groaning from the strength of his agony and fear. He rocked back and forth, blind to anything but the desolation of the world.
Yep.
I don't know if anyone who's ever hit that level of misery is so real. And I appreciate that, this is awful. And Roran gets to cry about it.
Yes, he
gets to weep. He gets to mourn. Like it's like not. I mean, Katrina being gone is the big thing here.
Yeah.
But like you said, it's his farm was burned to the ground. His father is killed. His cousin dis-a-fucking-peared.
Yep.
He describes it as his family was annihilated.
Yeah.
And I think this is him. Like he's had moments of despair.
Yes.
He's cried before, but I think this is the grief of all of it.
Yep. I think like this is the accumulation of all three of those things, because I feel like it almost kind of alludes to the fact that Katrina was helping him kind of keep it together.
Yes.
And that now that she is gone, he just can't hold it in anymore. He just needs to let it out, and he does. I really like when he's finally an endless amount of time reduced Roran's sobs to weak gasps. And so he's trying to pull himself together a little bit, and he's like, I have to think. So then I like this is like, once he regained control, Roran carefully arranged his thoughts like a master craftsman organizing his tools into precise rows. And I just love the like thought of Roran like just like outside looking in, about just this man like leaning against, where is he? He's like leaning against,
and he's leaning against the headboard.
Yeah, he's like in bed, just, and I could just like being silent, but inside it's almost like he's like mentally grabbing his emotions and just pulling them in and arranging them in a way. And I'm like, that is such
mental
strength,
fortitude,
to do that. And I just love the idea of him just sitting quietly while he's just mentally wrestling and trying to think logically through his grief. It's just like, I love
even how he describes it in his head. Like, there must be a solution hidden amid my knowledge, if only I'm creative enough. Like, and I love that it's not like I have to be smart enough or I have to be strong enough. I just need to be creative. Like, there's an answer here. Because what I love that he's coming up against is, like, one, he knows he can't track the Razaks. That's crazy. Two, and if he could, it would mean abandoning the village, and they're all going to die. They have the soldiers, even if they go and kill those soldiers that are there, they have reinforcements. The village is going to die. It is going to burn, and anybody who lives is going to be put into slavery. Like, that is the reality. And Roran cannot leave the village either. That it is his home. Like, with the things he said he cared about, right? His home in Palancar Valley. And while the physical home itself, like, that is Carvajal. He can't leave them he like should be trying to save Carvajal, not desert it. We can't stay here. There's no future here.
Yep.
If I follow Katrina, if I go by boat, that'd be the best way. I need to do this. And I
Yeah.
love this. What if everyone in Carvajal accompanied me to Nara and then Deserta? The audacity of the idea stunned him.
Yep.
Just so like, wait, no, what if we all left? Like,
Yeah.
wait, what? That's never been the idea of abandoning Carvajal and leaving has never been a talking point.
Yes.
We've been like, send the children away. We could, but like,
not abandoned.
like him realizing like, we all need to leave.
Yeah.
Like, we all need to leave. Like, somebody needs to go save Katrina. I can't leave the village, but staying is not an option anymore. Yep. Like,
we're gonna die. Because they heard, I think if I'm remembering right, they heard in the last Roran chapter that reinforcements are like on their way.
Yes, the Razak said that reinforcements were coming.
And so it's like they're all going to die. Or put in slaves. Become slaves.
He thinks about like, well, the Varden is the only group that would harbor fugitives in the Empire, and Roran was sure that the rebels would be delighted to have a village worth of recruits, especially ones who had proved themselves in battle.
Yep.
Also, by bringing the villagers to them, he would earn the Varden's confidence, so they would trust him with the location of the Razak. Maybe they can explain why Galbatorix is so desperate to capture me. Oh, buddy. I'm so sorry.
There's also, I feel like there's a moment, I can't remember if it's in this chapter, but definitely comes in these 3 chapters, where we get just touching on that, is Roran holds a hatred towards his cousin.
It's simmering. It's growing more and more later. I think it's an animosity and a resentment for Eragon, but once Katrina is taking, that's when it goes into he hates him.
Yeah, it's kind of leaning towards that. And it's, as a reader, knowing what happened, it like breaks my heart. Because I'm like, he did it to try to save you all. That's what Eragon's, his intentions were, like, righteous. Like, I can't think of a good
word.
Noble, like, he had good intentions. There it is. To do that because he was trying to save, he's like, Roran is in Theransford, like, he's got his life, it'll be fine, I can leave and it'll be okay.
Yeah.
But by not telling everyone what was happening, I mean, he couldn't, there wasn't any way. It's a hard situation. It's just a really hard situation.
Again, Eragon's not close with the village, so it would have been weird for him to be like, hey, so yeah, my uncle's dead because those mysterious strangers were these creatures called the Razak, and they work for Galbatorix, and they're after me because that stone I had turned out to be a dragon egg.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it'd be wild.
Too many people, no one needs to know that.
Yeah.
And so I was looking at, Roran is in like the same situation Eragon was in almost.
Yeah.
Where the Razak have caused him a personal offense.
Yes.
Now he wants to hunt them down.
Yes.
But Eragon was just revenge.
Yes.
And Roran is trying to rescue and save Katrina.
Yes.
Like, killing the Razak was not going to resolve the mourning of Garo.
Mm-hmm.
Saving Katrina is going to resolve the distress of Katrina being gone.
Yes,
like,
absolutely.
They're in similar situations, but it is so very different. And Roran also now has the fundamental responsibility of Carvajal.
Yeah.
He can't just leave and do this. Because it is the village is in such a different state than it was when Eragon left.
Yep. It's also with like that in mind, and then also when he comes to that conclusion where he has to encourage the people of Carvajal to the same level of fervor that he is on.
Yes.
And he's walking through and just saying, come, and they're following him.
I love that.
And he's saying, come, and they're all following
him.
And for me, I'm like, remember what Eragon learned about the king's bloodline still being in Carvajal? And I'm like, ooh, like that's such that's a leader thing. He has the blood of kings in him.
I think I highlighted like folk hero shit.
Yeah, exactly.
It. Because I love what he also realizes is that he can't appeal to their fear.
Yes.
That's not going to work. They'll just double down and try to hide. He needs to make them feel in the depths of their hearts the need to relinquish the trappings of their identities and lives. He needed to instill a sense of purpose and destiny to make the villagers believe, as he did, that joining the Varden and resisting Galbatorix's tyranny was the noblest action in the world.
Yep.
And I love that Anyway, so we talked a couple chapters ago whether or not Roran and Katrina hooked up. There's this line about he thinks about it, like the heat of her skin, the mold scent of her hair, and what it felt like to be with her under the cover of darkness.
It's like, oh yeah, they totally boned.
They totally boned.
Yeah, they did.
Actually, we're gonna recant.
Yeah,
they totally boned.
They totally boned. Yep.
And he also thinks of, if not for Eragon and me, the Razak would never have come here. I must rescue the villagers from the Empire as surely as I must rescue Katrina from the Desecrators. Like, those things have become intrinsically linked to Roran. It's not one or the other. He must do both.
Yep.
And like you said, he marches out and he says just to every person, come, just getting them all and everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody.
I do think it's kind of the one images that I could, like, I know it's very serious and he's supposed, but I just imagine him standing in the middle of the village and just screaming come, and the people that are there are just like, whoa.
Well, yeah,
it's intense over and over and over again. Come. And I'm like, whoa.
And he gives this speech.
Yeah.
I will not be reading.
No.
It's a page.
It's
almost a whole page. But what he does is so good.
Yeah.
Because it's and Paulini, the way he has constructed Roran's thought process here.
Yeah.
It would be a weaker version of this chapter would imply that Roran is only trying to rally the villagers to leave and fight back so he can rescue Katrina.
Yes.
That's not it.
Yep.
He does need the villagers to agree to leave because he will not leave the village.
Yes.
But he has also come to this deep conclusion that, wait, this is so fucked up. That this happened to us is wrong.
Yes.
Like, that our king wants something from me, from my cousin, that we don't know or understand what, that he has sent these monsters who have killed us, who have eaten our friends and family, who kidnapped a member of our community.
Yep.
And it is all under the permission and blessing of this tyrant.
Yep.
And that's where he's just like, no, it shouldn't be this way.
Yep.
And we can't let this be the way our world is.
Yep.
And the rallying of just the fact that, like, hey, isn't it enough that we toil every day of our lives?
Yep.
And we still have to send most of it to the king. Like, we're
Yeah.
still taxed ridiculously and don't get any help. And
Yep.
he is evil. An unnatural blight on the world. He
Yep.
destroyed the riders, the greatest peace and prosperity we ever had.
Yep.
His servants are foul demons birthed in some ancient pits. But is Galbatorix content to grind us beneath his heel? No, he seeks to poison all of Allegasia, to suffocate us with his cloak of misery.
Yep.
Unless we have the courage to resist evil.
Yep.
And it's like, listen, we've resisted, but it means nothing if we die alone and forgotten. I choose to fight. I choose to step from my grave and let my enemies bury themselves in it. I choose to save Carvajal.
Yep.
100 years from now, what names shall drop from the bard's lips? Horst, Bridget, Kistel, Thane. They will recite our sagas. They will sing the epic of Carvajal, for we were the only village brave enough to defy the Empire.
Yep.
Ugh, I wanted to cry.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't an audiobook, and, like, I'm getting, like, deeply emotional, and, like, not to get political, but everything is political. And if you listen to this far, you didn't think we had opinions of what's going on in our world right now, you can go listen to you can go get your free entertainment somewhere else. But, like, yeah, when you look around and see what the leadership is doing and how they just fundamentally don't care about people.
Yep.
They fundamentally do not care about the needs and hurts and wants of the people they are supposed to. So, like, it's a king, right? And we also have this crazy line about, like, you know, we want to overthrow this evil king, but the grains should be ours to keep, save for what we may send as a gift to the rightful king.
Yeah.
Because this monarchy is still the only, like, option here.
Yeah.
It's very, like, okay, well, we're not gonna invent Roran's not gonna invent the idea of, like, a republic or, like, democracy or something right now. That's fine. Move past that.
Yep.
But there is so much right now in this time we're living in where every time I open the news, it is another atrocity.
Yep.
It is another violence. It is another apathetic act being inflicted on people who have no source of protection,
Yep.
who are bystanders and who mean nothing to the forces in power other than how they can be used and abused.
Yep.
And it sucks.
Yep.
And so the reminder that it is a choice to say no to that. And not everybody has the luxury of being able to make that choice.
Yeah.
What the villagers are doing, giving
Yeah.
up everything, is
Yeah.
the cost
Yeah.
of that. And it's not a one-to-one parallel in the real world.
Uh-huh.
But it is the reason I think books like this are so good.
Yeah.
Is because it hits. It hits so real. It hits in a way that 10 years ago wouldn't have hit quite this hard.
Yeah.
But history is cyclical.
Yeah.
And things
for
come back
sure.
around if we don't pay attention, if we don't read
Yep.
these books and recognize, like, these are, I don't know, we make fun of it. It's baby's first high fantasy. But,
Yeah.
like, and we talk a lot about how, like, oh, it's like Tolkien and stuff. But,
Yeah.
like, Tolkien was saying something.
Yes.
I think there's a lot of, like, folks who follow in the steps of Lord of the Rings and just pull from those things because that's how you do it.
Yeah.
And I'm not well and widely versed in all of the deep high fantasies, but
Mhm.
I do believe that I think the more we get into inheritance and the more we interrogate and deeply think about what Christopher Paolini was writing here,
Yeah.
I think you could very easily say he understood what
Yeah.
Tolkien was trying to do
Yeah.
beyond the aesthetic visual trappings of the fantasy genre.
Yep.
Right? He got what the books were about.
Yep.
Even to the extent where Tolkien would deny the books were about that.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I'm not dealing with my trauma from being in the trenches and watching
Yeah.
my friends die. How dare you?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, buddy. Oh, buddy. But, like, that core idea of evil and wickedness and apathy and just seeing people as things
Yep.
is what is wrong with any world.
Yep.
And so Roran tapping into that,
Yes.
and not just we are hardworking people who don't deserve to be treated like this. No one deserves to be
Yes.
treated
No
like
one
this.
does. Absolutely.
The Albatorix isn't just suffering us; he's suffocating everything good about our kingdom.
Yep. Everything.
Everything.
Everyone.
Yeah, everyone, everything in it. He just doesn't care.
Yep.
And that's some bullshit. And the idea of, like, the bard's lips, like 100 years from
Yes.
now, and, like, really hitting that resonant hope.
Yep.
Like, yeah, this is the reality. We all know this sucks. We all know what we've suffered.
Yep.
He can't end it on that. He has to bring it back around. And the idea that we will be remembered 100 years from now because we will succeed.
Yep.
Because the bards will sing about us because they have to. Because
Yeah.
what we're going to do is going to match her.
Yes.
And we will be victorious.
Yep. And I do like this where he goes, it is our destiny. Like, that's how he ends
Mhm.
everything. And then it's I'm going to just read this paragraph because it's
Please.
very good. Rowan held his hands before his face and slowly closed his fingers over the bleeding wounds. He stood hunched over his injured arm, crucified by the scores of gazes, and waited for a response to his speech. None came. At last he realized that they wanted him to continue. They wanted to hear more about the cause and the future he had portrayed. And I just love that. I love the fact that no one is shouting out at him. No one is being like, no. No one is, like, doing anything. They are hooked already.
Mhm.
They want him to
They
continue.
want to hear.
And
They want to see this vision.
Yes,
He is painting.
and it's because, like, this, if he had said this at the beginning when the Razak had just showed up, I don't think
It wouldn't have been enough.
it wouldn't have
The cost
impacted.
wouldn't have hit yet.
Yeah, it wouldn't have had the same impact because they wouldn't have been like, they're like, yeah, whatever, like, it won't really happen. But because they've experienced what the Empire, the King, and the Razak have put them through, I think that's why they're like, yeah, no, you're like, absolutely.
Yeah, there's we learned early on in the first book that Carvajal has no affection for the
Yes.
Empire because they're taxed heavily
Yeah.
and there's no support when they need it.
Yes.
So they're very much like, ugh.
Yeah.
But, like,
they'd been forgotten.
They'd been forgotten.
They're
It's
like
a
up
sense
at
of,
the very
like,
top of the.
yeah, it's like apathy, right? They don't care.
Mhm.
They're not, but it's not that fear or apathy or discontentment
Yeah.
is not enough to drive deep action.
Yes.
Right? It's the firsthand suffering they've experienced, but also the prospect of something better. And I think that reflects so heavily on what we are supposed to understand about Carvajal as a community and a culture and a people.
Yeah.
Because it is hard. And they have worked hard. And they have suffered.
Yep.
And what Roran is proposing is going to be hard. But the fact that they can see a brightness,
Yes.
a betterness, a possibility from
Yeah.
that, like, reflects that this is a village of hardworking people.
Yes.
Like, they're used to struggling.
Yes.
Because you don't work hard and struggle if you don't think it's going to be worth it later on down the road. And there's the community of Carvajal is a people who are willing to invest.
Yeah.
Because they believe in a outcome that's worthwhile.
Yeah. His speech is like almost like it's like 2 pages.
Yeah.
Long.
And if
it's
we
wild.
even if we just take out any, and most of it is speak.
Yeah.
Like, there is a couple like descriptions and prose, but
Yep.
like if we took that out, it'd still be like a full 2 pages.
Yep. But then I like how he says his piece and then he steps out of the light of a torch. And then there's a couple of other people who step in and say, I will follow. I will follow. And then I love how no one else is really willing. And then Horst.
Well, Bridget
Oh, yeah.
comes up first. And I love it. She's like, today we saw, and she stopped and shook her head and laughed in an embarrassed way. I find it hard to speak after Rowan. And it's like, yeah, man.
Yeah, after that. Like,
and this is where I realized, oh, Roran is not on Eragon's. Like, he's not a mirror to Eragon.
Yeah.
Bridget is.
Yes.
Because what she says is, I would hunt down the Razak and avenge my husband's death.
Yep.
That is her motivation. Because that was Eragon's motivation. And she's like, oh yeah, I'll do it. We're going to leave. I'll bring my children. Let's go.
Yep.
And that's when we get a lot of the people saying, yeah.
Yep.
Not everyone is so willing to, no one seemed willing to address the subject. It was too momentous.
Yep.
And this is when Horst
Yep.
speaks
And
up.
then Horst comes in and he goes, it's no good talking anymore. We need time to think. Every man must decide for himself. Tomorrow will be another day. Perhaps things will be clearer then. And then he extinguishes the flame. I thought that was funny. He extinguishes the flame and then everyone has to go home in the dark.
It's fine.
It's fine.
It's moonlight.
I also feel like it's
they know where they're going.
because it's like the weight of the night is suddenly like it's that like represents the weight of the decision that they have to make.
And I love the interaction he has with Albrecht and Baldur.
Yeah.
Where Roran's like, do you think anyone else will go? Was I good enough?
Yeah.
Good enough?
Yeah.
Roran, you could have convinced an Urgle to become a farmer tonight. And I just highlight imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
Roran.
Yeah.
What do you mean good enough?
Yeah.
Do you don't even know what you did to us, the readers.
Yes.
Who are not actually experiencing this in our real life.
Yep. Very good. And then he ends up I think he just goes to bed.
Well, we get a little bit that is it, but they Baldur leaned towards his brother. Father would lose most of his tools. Albrecht nodded solemnly.
Yep.
Because it's like they can't take it all with them.
Yes.
Like most of his tools. And he thinks about like he's one measure of a smith's wealth and skill was the number of tools he owned. For Horst to surrender his would be no harder what anyone else has to do, thought Roran. He only regretted that it would entail depriving Albrecht and Baldur of their rightful inheritance. So we have, once again, the notion of inheritance brought up.
Yes.
And of a father's choices that will impact the inheritance of their children.
Yep.
We saw Sloane just denying Katrina her inheritance outright out of spite, out of anger. And here we see Horst. We know Horst is going to come. Yeah. Like, Horst is ride or die with Roran. And also Roran is presenting the wisest option. Yep. He is going to come. Yep. But that decision does not come without cost. In this case, it will mean Albrecht and Baldur do not have the certainty of their future, where they also are going to be blacksmiths. Yep. And they are not going to have the same resources. Yep. That should have been entitled to them through their inheritance. Yep. It's a small thing, but of course, we're going to call it out every time we see it. It's the name of the series. Yep. Yep. And that's when he goes to sleep. Yep. And this next chapter is a lot of seeing how the villagers are responding to this.
Yeah, I do like that the first thing Roran sees The morning after his speech, is how the chapter starts, is he sees 12 men leaving, heading for the Igualda Falls. I probably butchered that. And he asks Horse about it, and they're gonna have a talk with their families. They've been running into the spine since dawn, and I'm like, that's fair. They need to. They can't just make the decision. It has to be like a family decision, which I like.
We have some like back and forth, like you mentioned earlier, like some people are like the whole village in turmoil. There's only one way out, your way, and some people hate you for it. Of course, a fair number of them already hated you for bringing this upon us.
Yeah.
The bread in Roran's mouth tasted like sawdust as resentment flared inside him. Eragon was the one who brought back the stone, not me.
Yep,
and that's when we're starting to see this, like, this resentment, this, like you said, hatred towards Eragon is really starting. Everything starts to come to a boil, and there's no going back to the way things were. Roran becomes more and more frustrated that people are blaming him for this result, but he's like, hey, I should have just given myself up to the Razak? Like, that's what we all decided, but we're all gonna forget that Eragon's the one that brought that goddamn stone into the village?
Yep.
Like, I'm doing everything I can. Also, Roran's probably a little bit like, I stayed.
Yeah.
I'm still here. I'm fighting for the village. I'm trying to protect it. He ran away.
Yep.
When trouble came, Eragon ran.
Yep.
And he doesn't know why.
Yep.
Right? Like, again, he doesn't have the full context of what also Brom told him to.
Yeah.
Like, I guess. But no, we did have earlier on where he was thinking, like, what stories did Brom put in my cousin's head to get him to just leave before Garo's funeral?
Yeah.
Like, early on, there was this inkling of Roran kind of blaming Brom for influencing Eragon.
Yeah.
But that has kind of gone away, and this is Eragon's fault because he brought that stone.
Yep. And I feel like that's also human nature. Like, you tend to he's blaming Eragon, and it's a lot of it is like, there's that saying where it's like hatred stems from love. And so it could be like he loved Eragon, and that's why he's like, fuck Eragon now.
It hurts so bad.
Because it hurts so bad. So he didn't really know Brom. He knew him as a storyteller, he knew him by name, but I feel like Eragon and Brom had more of a relationship before any of this, because Eragon loves stories, where Rowan was like, I just need to worry about my farm, I need to worry about Katrina and my family, and that's it. And so with I think that's where it comes in, because like people tend to like, their brain kind of like smears the truth just a little bit. So I think that's it, because I like Brom did convince Eragon to leave, but he's fully blaming Eragon at this point.
We boiled it down. There's this line that Horse says, because Roran asks, like, what about the others? The others adore you. I never thought I'd see the day where Garo's son would stir my heart with words, but you did it. Boy, you did it. And I underline that because it's like Garo's son, the farmer, the silent farmer.
Yes.
Like, he didn't say a lot. He didn't come to the village a lot. Like, he's kind of a scraggly, grumpy guy.
Yes.
And his son just made that speech.
Yep.
I think that's interesting.
Yep. And I do like when Horse says, he like waves a hand over his head and goes, all this, I built it for Elaine and my sons. It took me 7 years to finish. See that beam over the door right there? I broke 3 toes getting that into place. And you know what? I'm going to give it up because of what you said last night. And it's like, that is the weight of this decision. People are leaving not just their homes, but the lives some of them built literally from the ground up.
What they've inherited from their grandparents. Things. The people of Carvajal have been in the valley since the first humans got to Allegasia. Like, I don't know if the people of Carvajal know that, but we know that. This was like the early capital of the kingdom. And Horst also has another line. Just remember that if the reality falls short of the airy dreams you conjured, there will be debts to pay. Give people hope, then take it away, and they'll destroy you. And Roran's not worried about that. He thinks to himself, if we make it to Serta, we will be greeted as heroes by the rebels. If we don't, our deaths will fulfill all debts. And then Horse is like, he's going to go figure out what tools he'll take, and he'll hide or destroy the rest. The Empire won't benefit from my work. And Roran offers to help, but it is a task I can only do with Albric and Baldur.
It's
good. Anyway, so Gertrude rolls up and she says, your family heals at the most extraordinary rate. I could barely believe my eyes when Eragon started walking about after having his legs skinned and spending 2 days in bed.
Yep.
Yeah, he's doing great. I guess,
maybe.
Sounds pretty bad.
Yeah, because they
sure
also
be able to use that arm again.
Yeah, because then she also she slides her fingers under the poultice packed on his wound and peels it off. A thick, rancid smell clogged the air.
Bad.
And so it's like his wound is not good.
Festering.
Yep. And she tells him and he's like, will my arm work? And she goes, oh yeah, as long as the muscle. And he goes, will I be able to fight? And she goes, I suggest that you learn to use your left hand. And that sucks.
Yeah, it's like, listen, you'll be able, it will have mobility. It won't be the same as before.
And it's like, oof.
Elaine and Roran have another conversation. Another conversation about Katrina.
Yep.
You really love her, don't you? He's like, what? Katrina, I'm not blind. I know what you've done for her, and I'm proud of you. Not every man would go so far. And I underlined that, and I'm like, mom vibes.
Yeah.
Like,
mom vibes for
I don't know
sure.
why it just clicked with me that Elaine has been, like, acting in a very maternal role for Roran in the context of Katrina.
Yes.
Like, when it comes to the context of Carvajal as a whole, it is it's not this kind of relationship. It's definitely more of, like, equal adults in this. But when Roran doesn't have anyone to talk to about Katrina.
Yeah.
Like, so really she was the one that was like, why did you waste so long to tell Horst or Sloane what is your problem?
Yeah.
And then it's like, man, if you drop her, if you just said some pretty words and you're gonna screw her over, I will make sure you are banned from. Like, it's very much like your mom who loved you and believes the best of you, but wants you to know there are consequences for your actions.
Yes, exactly.
But will also let you know when you did good, and she's proud of you.
Yeah.
Like, and Roran's mother died a long time ago.
Yes.
Like, Eragon was 8.
Yeah,
5?
he was young.
He was young, yeah, because that's when he found out that Garo and I'm so sorry, I don't remember mom's name.
I don't know if they ever mentioned
I think they did.
I think they did like once.
I want to say it begins with the letter M, but I have no idea. I don't have the book in my room. I'm not going to go look for it. There's a listener who's screaming. Thank you so much. I appreciate you helping us out. That's when he's like, oh, they aren't my birth parents. They're my aunt and uncle.
Yeah.
And also I'm like, y'all definitely go to the village that much because everyone in the village knew that.
Yeah.
Like, everyone in the village knew that. Like,
because they probably saw Eragon's mother come in.
Yeah, pregnant, give birth, disappeared a little while later.
Yeah.
I also, because did Roran knew the whole time, or was he kind of young and then suddenly Eragon was there?
Yeah, I think he might have been young.
And the little baby brain, you're like, yeah, it's my brother.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about where babies come from anyway, so this is fine. But yeah, he hasn't had a maternal mother figure since his mom passed away. So there's no one to, have these kind of conversations with him. And I'm happy that he has that with Elaine.
Yes.
Even if everything kind of sucks right now. And he does a round of the town. Some folks are super mad. Some folks are like very clearly packing up, but they don't want to admit it.
Yeah.
They're like,
he realizes there are a lot of people that are packing, but not fully committed into saying whether or not they're actually going to go or not.
Yeah.
And also he gets this interesting interaction with Thane, the farmer.
Yeah.
And that's how the chapter
ends. Who's been like anti-Roran for like this whole run.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He just has this, I guess I'll just read this whole
Please,
this
I think
paragraph.
It's really good.
Yeah. Ever since we attacked the soldiers, everything has seemed hopeless to me. It pains me to admit it, but so it was. My heart pounded all the time like I was about to fall down a well. My hands shook, and I felt dreadfully ill. I thought someone had poisoned me. It was worse than death. But what you said yesterday healed me instantly and let me see purpose and meaning in the world again. I can't even explain the horror you saved me from. I am in your debt. If you need or want anything, just ask and I'll help. And it's like...
Everyone's like, what have I done?
Yeah, and it's all. I think that's a good point because he kind of interacts with people who are kind of either loathsome towards him or kind of in the middle ground. They don't really care either way, but they're just
kind of like not
yeah,
they're not super comfortable with him.
Yeah,
right
and then he meets Thane, who's like, "You saved me."
Thane has been having panic attacks.
Yeah,
like absolute. Thane has PTSD.
Yes,
he's been going through it.
Yeah, because like
that explains all of him.
Yeah, it's like
anxiety,
PTSD, anxiety, depression,
like trauma.
Like, the
it's
trauma,
been bad.
all of it for him, and then it's like Roran gave him hope again, and that helped him pull himself out of that dark space.
Yeah,
and then Roran kind of realizes like. At that moment, we are not told that, but Roran being like, "What have I done?" is kind of it for me. It kind of reads as him fully realizing what Horse said. Some people adore you, some people hate you, some people don't really care, and he's like, "Oh, like I get it now."
It's like, oh, like the fact that his words could do this 180 on Thane. He's like, oh,
yeah.
We also have a little bit before that of him being like, he hasn't really looked at his reflection, so he sees in a puddle.
Yeah.
It's a haunted appearance. He looks terrifying.
Bad.
His hair is a mess. His scars. He's a lopsided grin crept across Roran's face, rendering his visage even more shocking. He liked how he looked. It matched his feelings.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay. Okay.
All right, bud.
Yeah.
All right, bud.
I like that. That's Eragon, who is sometimes kind of horrified by the changes in his appearance.
Yeah.
Or, like distressed by.
Yeah.
And Roran's like, yeah.
Nah, I like it.
Great. Although we do have like a parallel of Roran and Eragon with the physical wound.
Yes.
Like Roran being like, I'm not going to be able to, I got to figure out how to get past this.
Yes.
Roran has, I think it's never going to be the same, but learn to use your left arm and you'll be able to fight.
Yeah.
Eragon it's a magical ailment that is afflicting him, that is causing this. But continues on. We go to the pub, the bar, the tavern. Yeah. That's the one. Tavern. Yeah, the tavern keeper and his wife are not fucking
starts
jazzed.
with the Exodus. Yep.
Yeah. They are not happy.
They're
pretty
not
mad.
happy with him.
Who gave you leave to stir up Carvajal with your fancy words?
Yeah.
If we go, how will my poor husband make a living? He can't take his trade with him like Horst or Gedrick. He can't squat in an empty field and farm like you. Impossible. Everyone will go and we will starve. Or we will go and we will still starve. You've ruined
It's like, oof. Oofa doofa.
Yeah. Like, I've always counted you among my friends. I would not have you killed by the Empire.
Yep. And it could have been like, that's the words, because at the end they join the group leaving, and it could have been like, that's the words that might have made the difference.
Yeah.
In
like,
that.
You are my friends. I don't want to see you killed.
Yep.
I don't have an answer for you right now, what your future is going to be.
I just don't want to see you die.
Yeah. He stops by this well, and Bridget rolls up, and she turns the crank for him because he's struggling. And I love their interaction where he's like, I'm glad you're coming. I reckon it's the voice that drives you, Roran, for it propels me as well. We both wish to find the Razak. Once we do, though, I will have my compensation from you for Quimbley's death. Never forget that. Yep. And this fucking power move pushes the full bucket. She let Roran drink it first, Avi. Pushes the full bucket back into the well and let it fall unchecked, the crank spinning wildly.
Yep.
Like, whoa, what a crazy way to leave this conversation, Bridget. Like, for sure, babes. And he has this thought of like, well, whatever happens, Bridget will definitely help me hunt down the Razak.
Yeah.
And then I either have to pay her price or kill her.
Yep.
And we have no idea what that price is going to be.
No.
What is she going to demand of him for the death of her husband? It's like, I don't know. We can't think about that right now.
No.
Moving on. And it is almost everyone shows up.
Yep.
Not everyone.
But almost everyone.
Of the village shows up.
The gentleman who's like, I don't have any family left. I'm old. Like,
there's another gentleman who's not willing. Smartt, I think, is an older gentleman as well.
Yep.
And he's like, he's not going to come.
Yep.
And someone has to look after him.
Yep. And then it's because it's like there's some people who are like, I don't see my life outside of this. But then there's like that one man that walks by and he's like, you're all crazy.
Ethelbert.
Yeah, and he's like, you're all crazy. And it's just, I feel like there's always one.
There's always one. Like, I've held my peace, but I will not follow a nattering lunatic.
Yeah. And it's just kind of sad because it's that happens after his conversation with the gentleman that's like, I'm not leaving. I have to look after this other gentleman.
What will you do when the soldiers arrive? Give them a fight they'll remember.
Yep.
But he knows is like, we'll die.
Yeah, and that's
we'll
like, and that's the thing is like they know they don't really talk about the they're either going to die or they're
Mhm.
going to be put into slavery.
Yeah.
That's what's the thing. And so this other dude that's like, I'm not gonna follow lunacy. It's like, oh, because
You're
it's like
kind of
you're gonna. You might regret that.
Yeah, you're just him. I think Ivor is making a he's making a not calculated, but like a fully what's it called when you have all the information you need to make a not conscious decision. I don't informed. He's making a fully informed decision.
Yeah.
He knows this isn't going to end well for him. He knows what this outcome is going to be. But also he's like, I can't leave this guy, and he's maybe scared to leave too, and it's going to be hard. And he's like, I'm making this choice. I think he doesn't think that they're making the wrong choice. This is just a choice he's going to make. Meanwhile, this other guy, okay, man. And then we get Fisk is old, and they're borrowed a horse. I thought that said house when I was reading it. I was like, what? They show up. Apparently, Fisk had trouble closing up a shop. He couldn't pick which plasters or chisel. This poor woman is like, I'm so sorry, we're late. My husband wouldn't get the fuck out. He couldn't pick what he wanted.
It was like watching a cat surrounded by mice trying to decide which one to chase. First this one, then that one, and I'm like, I love that. I love that because I love. He's just sitting there. He's standing there thinking about it, and then he reaches for one, and then he pulls back, and then he reaches for another one, and then pulls back.
His old is like, we have to go. We need to leave. They're gonna leave.
Yeah.
And then, but as you said, Morn and Tara show up, and they got these donkeys weighed down with ale.
Yeah.
And Roran's like, we don't have enough food. What are they doing?
Yeah.
The horse is like, nah. I don't. Morn's bear will be good for morale.
Yeah, and I'm like, that's fair. Like, I think that'll go down. Because, like, that was the one thing he's like, what does he say? 12 years of his life? Because you need to age alcohol. And so he's losing that much. And so he's trying to take as much of his life's work with him as he can.
Yep.
And then it's like, they're going to have to drink that pretty quick before it goes bad. But it'll be good for morale. People will enjoy themselves. Like, maybe a drink after a hard day's travel will help a lot just with nerves
I don't think
stuff.
I don't think Horst is wrong in that.
Yeah,
Sometimes
I agree.
you need to bring your simple pleasures to get through a hard time.
Yes, absolutely.
So excluding Ivor, 3 families are determined to remain in Palancar Valley. Ethelberts, Pars, and Nuts. Newts?
I think it's Nut. Knute.
Yeah.
Nut.
And Roran knows he can't force him to come. They start out, but then Fisk rolls up. He's like, wait, before you go, he gives him a walking stick.
Yeah.
Like a kick-ass
like
walking
a really
stick.
cool walking stick.
And it's so interesting because earlier when his wife was like, he couldn't make up his mind, and you're a little bit like, dude, why didn't you do this last night?
Mm-hmm.
Just because he made this last night.
It was because he was making this last night. Yep.
This, like, it's polished roots at the top and a blue steeled ferrule that tapered into a blunt spike at the base.
It almost, hear me out, a ruler scepter.
Interesting. I made it last night, said the carpenter. I thought you might have need of it. And it's so good. And Roran leads. Also, it's giving Moses. Sorry, the chapter's called Exodus, and he has the staff, and he's leading his people.
It does read Moses.
Like it's like, yeah, you were right. I didn't make that, but also
Moses.
The chapter's called Exodus, like the Bible. But yeah, and then he's not gonna look back.
Yep.
And he heads off, past out of Carvajal, leading the villagers into the wilderness.
Yep.
Yeah, it's bedtime.
It's
great. And this is it. And this is the end of the chapter.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay. Good writing takeaway.
There was so much good shit
in the chapter, man. I don't know. Folk hero. I just love this folk hero shit.
I was gonna say, like, it's interesting because if you think about, like, in this world, like, the stories that are being told of Roran Stronghammer taking the lead, and it's like, oh yeah, I totally believe that this will be a folk hero story, like way years, if they all survive, years and years and years down this. But yeah, no, I don't know. I'm kind of wondering if, like, because we are, like, if you're gonna write, I'm trying to think of, like, Roran's process of how he comes to this conclusion. So it's just writing, making sure to, like, if your character is going to, like, do what Roran did, having a good, like, you know what I'm trying to say?
Like,
I don't know if that's a strong
No, I understand what you're saying. It's a lot about character and character motivation and, like, creating. This is because the Roran we met in Eragon
Yeah.
doesn't feel like the kind of guy who's going to do this.
No.
And yet, you can see how he gets there.
Yes.
Right? Not out of nowhere, but like the dude we met who wants to work hard, who's going to go get a job so he can earn money to build his own house, to propose to the woman he loves and have this life. Like, this kind of man who has a solid sense of morality and a solid sense of self is the kind of guy who would, when push comes to shove, make that speech and do this thing and lead the village.
Yes.
And so I think it comes with the art of crafting believable characters.
Yes.
Who are human.
Yes. Maybe that's it. Like, your characters are characters. In what way can you help them become human and not just flat characters on a page?
Yeah.
Like, the decisions they make, like, because you can't write Mary Sue's. I've gone off on freaking rants about the House of Night Zoe. She is a Mary Sue, and it was so hard to read it because she is a Mary Sue. All of her decisions are like perfect and things like that. But I'm like, that's not people.
Listen, I just think she's a poorly written character, and I believe Mary Sue is a concept that escaped containment.
Yes,
but I will say,
yes,
Zoe Nightshade's not a very good character.
No, she's not.
She doesn't struggle.
She could have been if she was given more flaws and just being like Bella from Twilight. Oh, she's really clumsy. I'm sorry, that's not.
Bella's a self-insert.
Yeah, like she is a self-insert.
Bella's supposed to let the reader project onto her. Like, that's her function. That's why she has no personality.
Yeah.
Zoe Nightshade's also... she's a power fantasy?
Yes.
And I don't know, like, it could just be that broad generalization. Dudes love power fantasies where men are so badass and they never do anything wrong.
Yeah.
And then maybe when you write that for women, we're like, no, thank you.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
That's true.
I want my I want my lady characters to be kick-ass and do cool things.
Yeah.
Also, here's the other thing. The House of Night books aren't good.
Yeah, no.
Like, it's the other thing. They're not even just because Zoe Nightshade's not a good character. They're not good books. It's not a strong, cohesive world. And it's, like, aggressively, like, just pulling from, like, Cherokee, pick and choosing like it's a goddamn buffet.
Yeah,
like, it's real not good.
Real rough. There's also, like, one of the characters that I kind of admire is the main character, can't remember her name, from that Sarah J. Maas's The Crescent City.
Yeah.
The main character she makes some decisions that you're like, me as a reader, I'm like, oh, I completely disagree with that.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like it is in her character to make those choices.
Yeah.
Like, she will sometimes make a choice that harms other people emotionally and does these, it's like, wow, that was kind of a shitty thing to do. Like, you kind of like, she's not a good person. Like, spoilers for the Crescent City series in, like, the last book, she tricks her parents and puts them into a different dimension to save them without, like, telling them or acknowledging them. She doesn't even tell her, like, partner that she was doing this. She just tricks them and everyone and does what she wants in order for her to protect her family, which is, like, ultimately good. But it was like, that was kind of a really shitty way to go about it, my dude. But it's human.
Yeah.
It's what makes her human, because people, like, they're kind of selfish.
Yeah.
And so it's like, that makes sense. In this instance, I don't think Rowan is selfish.
No.
In a way. But, like,
yeah,
he comes off as very, very human. So, like, what can you do to help your characters be human? Whether it's, like, the trauma they experience, because
how they react to that.
Yes, how they react to it, or, like, the mistakes they make, and being, like, clumsy and they trip a lot or they drop stuff a lot. Like, that's not a actual human flaw. Like, it can be, but it's like you need something more tangible.
Yeah, like, it's about the way they engage with the world.
Yes,
is where we find humanity.
Yes,
in characters. I think.
Yes. So sorry, that was, like, a really
no.
long...
That was great. That was great. I think for our quest, I would love to hear what one non-essential thing would you bring with you if you were fleeing Carbajal?
Yes.
Because obviously we would, like, what would you bring with you? And it's like, well, you'd bring, like, you know, like food and clothing and things like that. But if you could bring one non-essential thing, non-essential, non-living thing.
Yes.
I'm not, it's too heavy to be like, well, I want to bring my cat and they're not essential, but I don't want to leave my cat. It's like,
that would be me. I'd bring my cat.
No bummers.
Yeah.
Because it's a very real thing that people in our world have to, like, refugees and people fleeing their homes for any number of reasons have to make the call of what they do or don't. Is this too heavy? Is this not a fun?
I think I don't think so. I think it's because I think for me is like I would bring a notebook.
Are you bringing a notebook?
I bring a notebook and pen because writing is something that is deeply important to me. I mean, my phone, charger.
Those are essentials.
But like, yeah, but I think like a notebook or something, or maybe like my favorite book series or something, like something to
comfort.
Comfort, absolutely. Because that's kind of goes to like Fisk with they're not bringing enough food. Yeah, but the beer will help a long way.
Yeah,
it's those pleasures that do. I wouldn't be able to bring my whole computer with me. Maybe my Switch. Maybe I'll be my Switch and my notebook because those are too easy. Grab.
Yeah.
And so that's what because it's like you need something to bring joy in life. Otherwise, life isn't worth living if you don't not having. That's a bit heavy.
Have joy.
But like if you need joy to live,
I would probably. Oh yeah, what would I bring? I'm the one that pitched this, and I'm like. Got a lot of little things, but nothing that. I'd bring Thud by Terry Pratchett.
Oh yes,
my copy. That's my favorite Discworld book. I bring that.
I like that.
The one thing, like you said, like a book, something comforting, something that has hope. Whatever I'm going through, like here's the reality, and I bring that.
Yep.
All right, I've got some listener comments.
Yay!
So got a comment from Georgia. Who says, unpopular opinion, I find Roran's chapters a bit meh. I like the development of the side characters, but they're my least favorite part of Eldest. And we are all entitled to our opinions.
I was like, yeah, fair enough.
Fair enough.
I felt the same way, but reverse when I first read it.
Yeah.
Eragons were boring for me, but no. Yeah.
A comment from listener Stolzy. When I first got to this chapter being, this is from episode 50, Roran, the chapter is Roran and the hunted hunters.
Okay, cool.
When I first got to this chapter when I was younger, I got so bored of the book. Same feeling like, what about Eragon? LOL. I put it down after this for a while until I started again and was like, oh, wow, now I see why we did this. But like, like, wait, no, what about Eragon? Why am I with this guy?
Yeah.
His cousin? What the fuck?
Yeah.
And then from listener Nora on our episode about his enemy's face.
Ooh.
So I'm a trans girl trying to find my name right now. And apparently the Irish name Sloane is gender neutral. My friend mentioned it, and the face I made was probably priceless. LMAO. Nope, never, nope. You know what? Good call, Nora.
No, not Sloane. Anyone but Sloane.
Like, I think it's like, oh, if I met someone who was named Sloane, I wouldn't think of the character from the Inherents, right? Like, but because of the character from Inherents, I would not use that name in my own personal toolbox for naming things and people.
Yes.
So totally. That's just like you can't. There are some names where it's just like, I can't use that name. It's from a show.
Yeah.
It's from a thing.
Yeah.
And maybe it's because it's a good thing, or maybe, but more often than not, it's like, nah, it's from a character.
Oh, yep, for sure. That's like, I genuinely like the name Edward, but is forever ruined.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah. You're a millennial woman. You can't be naming your kids Edward. Everyone's gonna think.
I can't use that name at all. Well, actually, no, I do have a character named Edward, but I'm like, I don't know if I'd be able to name if I had a
life
kid.
form.
Yeah, I don't know if I would be able to do that.
I think it is. Yeah, there is back when my brother and his wife had their first kid, and my brother was trying to convince his wife to if they had a daughter, let him name her Kyrie after the character from Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
And she's like, no. He's like, what? No, she's great. She's a Princess of Heart. And his wife's like, I'm not going to name what is a Princess of Heart? I'm not going to give her a Princess of Heart name.
Yeah.
Anyway, so my brother calls me and he's hey, we're talking about if we have a girl, what name? And this is this conversation. I'm like, oh, okay. He's like, all right, well, then Tiff made a suggestion. And hey, Tiff, what name did you say? Aurora, because it's my favorite Disney princess. And dear listeners, you've never played the Kingdom Hearts series where, yes, Kyrie is a character original to the game who is a Princess of Heart.
Yes.
In the first game, you also introduced to a number of Disney princesses and Alice in Disney Alice in Wonderland.
Yes.
And they are what is known as the Princesses of Hart.
Yes.
And Aurora, aka Briar Rose, aka Sleeping Beauty, is one of them.
Is one of them.
So, the absolute delight.
I
of her
know.
being like, I'm not going to name my daughter a Princess of Heart, and then unknowingly
is naming,
dropping Aurora.
Yeah, that's
I was like,
I love that so much.
And I was like, thank you for including me in this interaction with Jonathan. You have to let me go. I can't be a part of this conversation anymore. Thanks for telling me about that. Please let me escape. And then he has going for like months that he was gonna name, like, oh, we're having a boy, we're gonna name him Atlas, and he's just going for fucking months.
Oh my goodness.
They didn't. They picked a totally normal, solid name, although Johnny did give him the name of his favorite video game character for his middle name. Didn't tell Tiff that's where the middle name came from. Listen, she suggested it, and Johnny said yes, but didn't tell her why he said yes. It's okay. She named their daughter after her favorite video game character, so we can't be mad at Johnny. But yeah, Nora, I don't know if your Spotify name, if you've picked that, great name. And if you're still in the market, I hope you find the one that really captures who you are and
sure.
how you want to communicate yourself to the world.
Absolutely.
Best of luck to you, babes.
Yes, for sure.
And that is going to be it for this episode.
Yes.
So until next time, she's Lucy Hart.
And she's Darien Smartt.
And this was Eragon.
And back again.